everyone.
Hello everybody.
So we're here again for another video.
Yes, and this is really an interesting one.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, thanks to our fabulous YouTube viewers question, we had a chance to look into, Vera had a chance to look into past lives of
Nipsey
person.
Nipsey
Hussle.
You know what was weird?
What?
Whenever I first saw that, I thought, oh, somebody remembers Nipsey Hussle. I thought, wow, I didn't think anybody, And then I read it again. I'm going, oh, Hussle.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking,
So our viewer is ShaeHasTheTea.
Yeah?
And ShaeHasTheTea is asking, can you do one on Nipsey Hussle?
Yeah. So apparently, I think that's a past life, right?
Yes, yeah.
So from what I understand about Nipsey Hussle, he was a rapper, but also an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And then somebody murdered him in front of his business. And it was the day before he was supposed to go into a conference with the police.
Right.
And then somebody else? Something?
Yes, they were going to have a meeting. It was something rocks. I don't remember.
Rock Nation?
That's it.
Something
Rock
like
Nation. And they were going to have a meeting to try to reduce gang violence, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. So I don't know who this Eric Holder is, but apparently he's the one that shot Nipsey and said something like, oh God, no, I don't know if that's, maybe I just picked that up. It's like I can hear him saying, you got me, or something like that. Nipsey, to the other guy.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Because apparently he shot him like 10 times or something.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I mean, he wanted him dead, obviously.
Man. Yeah, really.
10 times. Okay, so I actually picked up 3 different lives for him. And he's had so many. He's had like 57 lives, something like that. I guess I should write that down. 57 lives. But these, the ones that I got have to do really, well, maybe not, but it has to do more with how he was in this lifetime. Okay. So the first one that I picked up was that he was, okay, so this was like in 13th century. Okay. But the latter part of 1200 something. And it was like the,
excuse me.
Yeah, it was like in Africa, but it's like, I guess they had like different kingdoms, if you want to say that, or different people that ruled different parts of Africa, kind of thing. And the way he was actually a slave in that lifetime. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I can't.
So, Vera, was this before
he was like a court slave.
Was it before?
Before colonization, yes.
It was
way before colonization.
So one of the kingdoms in Africa.
And he was a court, well, I guess you call him court, but a slave for the king, I guess, or whoever was it, ruler. Let's say ruler. Yeah, of that country. And then he was so intelligent that the ruler made him a general in his army. Because he was really good with working with people. I mean, he got the other guys that were in, I guess you could say, military, because he was a general, that he was able to get them to follow him and be excited about protecting the ruler. I don't know if you could say excited, but he got them riled up. I mean, he got them pumped up, not riled up, pumped up, to where they would follow him anywhere.
Wow,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then there was like a little skirmish between the ruler at that time and I guess whoever wanted to be ruler next. And in the meantime, while they were fighting, he took over.
Are you serious?
He became the ruler.
Wow, because so many...
And they couldn't do anything because he but he had loyal military to back him up.
Wow.
So they couldn't do anything.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So, and then then it was like, under his rule, they flourished economically, militarily, every which way, until he was murdered.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to say.
Okay.
Okay, you guys, this is really, really cool. Because it's just no wonder. Because as my understanding is that when Nipsey Hussle was a teenager, he was in the gangs down in Southern California. Yeah. And so he was in the gangs, but when he was 19 years old, he went on a trip with his father and brother to Africa for 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And when he came back from there, he was inspired. I wrote it down. He was inspired to become a community activist.
Well,
so no wonder it was like in his soul, the cell memory of going to Africa.
Right.
It sounds like
picked up.
Yeah, it triggered that for him of where he wanted to improve the life back home where he was from.
Right.
And inspired him with that, to be the community activist, and just like he was in that past life.
And like he found a way to be able to lead.
Right. So I mean, here he's a rapper, and he could do it through his music and in whatever ways that he did. I don't know all the things that he did, but obviously he's a rapper. He could inspire people through his music and everyone that he could touch in that way.
And then the next life goes along with that, because the next one I picked up for him was more in like the 18th century. So I'm getting to where it's closer to where it's in this life. But he was like a poet.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
rapper, poet. It's the arts.
But he was like one of the first African American poets to publish.
Really?
Or one of the first, or
I'm so curious now. Like, I want to do some research.
Yeah,
James, all our fabulous researchers out there.
Yeah, but he was a slave his whole life. The thing though.
You mean when he was a poet?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but the family that he was a slave to, it was like he was born into it. And the family that he was with, the owner educated him. He had the run of the house, just like his kids.
So he was a good person.
He was a nice person, but he still owned a slave.
Yeah, that's not good, but I hear what you mean.
Yeah, so, but he never wanted for anything. I mean, he never had to work in the fields. He just did stuff like what the kids would do. He sent him to school to learn. The owner, the slave owner, and he did everything that the kids did.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so the slave owner in that life really, really liked him. Did they have a connection from a previous life together? Or was it just charted that way?
It was just charted that way.
Yeah, to help him to be able to be a poet. And did he change lives? Did he inspire people as a poet?
I would think so. I mean, he was one of the first. I don't know if he was actually the first.
That's empowering for different people in that time.
And of course, he took on the religion of the owner.
Right.
So he was like... he did a speech or something when he got older about being a slave, because he was a slave his whole life. He was never emancipated, but once the slave owner died, he still didn't leave. He could have, but he still stayed.
Really?
Yeah, because it was, that was what he knew, and it wasn't a horrible life. He was able to, enjoy everything that the other kids got to enjoy, except he was still a slave.
Wow.
But in his mind, he wasn't.
I see.
Because he was able to walk around town, he was able to do whatever, and he was protected because he was this guy's slave.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, the first Black poet.
Yeah.
That's
one of, I don't know if he was actually the first.
But at that time period, one of the first. And talk about, inspiring others and enlightening people, because if he talked about his experience through poetry, again, that's using the
and
arts.
he actually wanted slaves to be freed. he was saying, especially the young people, but he himself never, I don't want to say he never wanted to be free, but he always felt free.
Right.
So
that it makes sense with what his experience was.
Yeah, because he had every opportunity to leave, but they treated him so well that he became part of the family.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I'm not saying that that's a good thing. It's just at least he wasn't.
He wasn't tortured and beaten. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And they didn't treat any of their slaves badly, but for some reason the owner took to him because he had this presence about him that it was like a magnet for people. He just was able to express himself, and so the owner got really excited because he was actually smarter than his kids. So
This reminds me of the life that he had in Africa when he was so smart and the ruler really liked him and everything.
But while they were fighting,
right?
He went, okay,
yeah,
you guys want to keep doing that, and we're over here starving to death.
Yeah,
So he wanted to help the people. Mm-hmm. So that's why he did it.
Wow.
Yeah, but he was murdered though, in that African life. Yeah. But the other one, I'm not sure
about the
I think he just lived to be old.
I see.
Yeah, kind of thing. So.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And then another one.
Wow.
That is right before this one.
Okay.
This is a life right before he came into life to this current lifetime, and he was one of the airmen in World War II. The one I can't say the word.
Tuskegee
Airmen, and it was like an all-black or African American unit. So all the pilots were African American. Mm. So he was just. They were all very brave, and they did so many things for. Wasn't it a movie or something?
I don't know.
Yeah,
because I with the movies.
I remember seeing it. I just don't remember when it was out, but I remember seeing it. And these guys were amazing, and what they had to put up with.
I can only imagine.
During, in boot camp and all, it was awful. And for them to even want to serve.
Fight for this country.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were
Talk
braver
about
than
their
brave.
Character.
Yep.
Yeah, braver than brave to even go through all that.
Yeah, yeah. But just the bravery of going and having to fight. Because it was I can remember seeing him with those things.
It's not a helmet, but it's like a cloth thing, and then it has the things over the ears.
Yeah, that's kind of how I pictured him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But I don't think he might have made it out of the war. But he still died in a plane.
Really?
Yeah. But it was an accident or something. I don't think it was in war. Mm-hmm. But after the war, something. Yeah. So those are the 3 ones that I got.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had...
I know they're short and everything, but they really mean something.
They really go together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It shows how... Those are the ones that you picked up on and how they influenced his life in this time.
Yeah. Yeah, because the bravery of him having, a voice.
Exactly.
And then trying to make it better for everyone. Mm-hmm. Kind of thing. And putting himself out there because not everybody wants to be friends with... I don't want to say friends with the police, but to help clean up the streets, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Talk about a brave soul.
Yeah, because he really wanted to help people. That's his soul was just so kind, but don't mess with him.
Right.
Kind of thing. So yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So thank you, Shae.
What a story.
Shae, what? For the
Shae has the tea.
Shae has the tea.
Well, thank you, Vera, for sharing that really cool insight.
But he had 57 lives, and out of those 57, I know this bothers people, but we're not always the same ethnicity every lifetime.
Or gender, or
religion,
we want or whatever.
We want to experience everything. Mm-hmm. So it's not, but these are the ones that popped out at me.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you all of you for joining us. And
keep those questions coming.
Yes, we love it. Whatever questions, spiritual things you want to know about, we love to answer. Stay enlightened.